What is up, guys? DPX here, reviewing today an MCU show, Loki Season 2. Now, before we get started, you know what to do. Be sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell, leave a comment, or I will freeze you in time. So, Loki, the MCU shows have been very hit or miss. But Loki, I always thought was, like, the best MCU show. Even when, like, I thought maybe it could be this one, or maybe it could be that one. I'm like, nah, Loki was always the one that, I don't know, when my big issue with it is, like, stuff that the other MCU shows don't really fall into. I think that's pretty solid, and I think it only makes sense that it had it's the only one to get a season 2. Not only because I personally believe it's the best, but also because it's the only one that I felt like actually served, like, face the multiverse saga. Like, the multiverse saga has been all over the place, but Loki has kind of been a little more, like, it's been pushing it forward, if you know what I mean. So what I think of Loki Season 2, well, I'll just say I think it is, like, you take the first season and then you take this, but even this alone, I think is the best show that the MCU has done. Like, it doesn't feel rushed, it doesn't feel like they're trying to do all these fucking different things all at once, like how the other shows do. It doesn't feel like, you know, they have a plot, but then they abandon the plot and they do something else, and then they go back to the plot they abandoned. You know, it just feels like they have a story they want to tell. They're continuing from the first season, and they do it very well. Particularly Tom Hiddleston as Loki, man. Honestly, I know this is not going to happen, but give this man an Emmy. Like, he kills the role. He kills his performance, and the arc that Loki goes on, you know what I mean? Like, Loki, like, in terms of character arcs, Loki is definitely, like, a top 5 greatest characters in the MCU, maybe even top 3. But you add on this show, where, like, at the beginning, like, the first season, I thought it was, like, I was thinking, like, why are they doing a Loki show? They killed off this character, they gave him a nice send-off just to bring him back, but what they're doing with him, I think, is very, very good. And how, like, his character has come full circle, I think is amazing. Not to mention, it's just a fun time. It's just really fun to watch. I was afraid of, like, the time travel shenanigans, you know. Season 1 did it pretty well, but, like, you know, time travel shenanigans, that stuff that is very easy to mess up. This show does it very well and does it in such a fun way. It's also got a nice cast of characters, you know, Mobius returns, you know, and Owen Wilson, of course, is great as Mobius. But there's also, like, a whole, like, we got Ki-Hu Kwan in there as Obi, who, he's a scene stealer. You know, and I wasn't expecting him to be in the show as much as he was. But, like, he's great. But, like, this show, this season, I feel like mostly focused on Loki, you know. It felt more like a character study of Loki. His journey through the MCU from, like, you know, the first Thor to Infinity War. It was like, you know, first he's trying to, like, you know, first he's the god of mischief trying to take over and all that. And it ends with him sacrificing himself to save his brother, you know. And I thought, like, I didn't want them to undo that, but, you know, then it feels like now he's finding a purpose. And by the end of this season, he finds a purpose. And, you know, it's not particularly what he wanted, but it's what he felt like he needed to do. And I think the way that was done was, it was told very well. And again, like I said at the beginning, it makes Loki probably like a top 5 greatest written MCU characters. Not to mention, I also feel like this season actually sets up further stuff about the multiverse. You know, I feel we didn't get as much of Kang as I thought we were going to. We got a variant of him, and we also got to see who he remains at the end. But, like, I thought we were going to see a lot more Kang, but I get Jonathan Majors is in some, you know, legal trouble. And there are rumors of them, like, cutting Kang and replacing him with Doctor Doom, which I don't think is a good idea. You've already established Kang, and if Jonathan Majors becomes a bit too problematic to keep around, there is such thing as recasting. Something happened. I kind of forgot what I was saying, but, like, I think I was talking about Kang. We don't get to see him that much. We get to see the variant of him, but, you know, what Loki does, it definitely, like, puts into question, like, you know, what's going to happen next? You know, how is this going to lead to the Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, right? And again, I also feel like it's not the best idea to axe Kang and replace him with Doctor Doom. Like, I know Doctor Doom was a big deal in Secret Wars, so I'm not saying you can't introduce him, but, like, I feel like just get rid of Kang, I don't think it's the best idea. But either way, you know, this show has done, like, a fantastic job setting up what is to come for the MCU. And, like, in a way that I feel like no other MCU project since Endgame has done. You know, like, after Endgame, none of them felt like they were pushing the story forward like this one was. So it did that, plus it's a lot of fun. It's a fun watch. I don't got much to say, other than Loki Season 2 is, like, this is the type of show that the MCU really needs. And they're, like, changing up the way they do shows. They don't get showrunners, which is, like, baffling. But at the same time, it's not surprising, because if you saw how, like, the shows turn out. But this one, like, do more of this, but more episodes. That's my one issue, basically. They need to stop with the 6-episode bullshit. It's bullshit, you know? Because, like, especially episode 5, I felt like could have been 2 episodes, you know? I feel like we could have done more. That's basically all that's my biggest complaint. My biggest complaint here is I wanted more, you know? And, it's the problem that the MCU shows have, where they just, for whatever reason, don't want to go past 6 episodes unless it's WandaVision or it's She-Hulk, right? Pretty much, you know, I hope with the new initiative over at Marvel and, like, the new showrunners, they do more than 6 episodes. Because, like, I even think that this was not rushed at all. I don't think it was rushed at all. But, like, if we got just 1 or 2 more episodes in there, I feel like this could have been even higher. But in the end, I'm going to give Loki Season 2 a 9 out of 10. So that's my review for Loki Season 2. Really liked it. The best MCU show, hands down, in my personal opinion. But what do you guys think? Did you guys like it, not like it? Have you guys seen it, not seen it? Anything about the show, let me know down below. Anyways, be sure to like, subscribe, or I will freeze you in time. Bye!